Welcome to Spirit, Purpose, and Energy. I'm JJ Flazanes, your host. Thank you for downloading today's show. It's going to be a shorter one, and it's a really applicable one because today is Tuesday, September 5th, or will be when this show is released, and it is the first day out of the last Mercury retrograde, which was horrible for me. Don't know about you guys, but it was a pretty terrible one. And it's also the day before I'm going to be mentioned in the National Enquirer. So on Wednesday, September 6th, if you're around a grocery store, pick up the National Enquirer and look in the story about Jonah Hill and his weight loss, which was, by the way, I believe, lap band surgery. And that's what I'm commented on. So who knows what I was actually quoted saying, but I'm going to be in the National Enquirer on Wednesday, September 6th. And we are also 5 days in to our 30-day manifestation challenge in the group. And I wanted to just give everybody who's on the group another little support, which today's show is going to help you with that. And it will help those of you that aren't doing the challenge. But I also wanted to let those of you who have heard about the challenge, maybe you are slightly interested, but maybe you don't want the community, maybe you just want to do it on your own. This time around, I've actually created 5 more creative visualizations and meditations, and they're all up for sale. So you can come over to jjflazanes.com, go on the blog, and go under today's post, which is about prayer versus meditation, and there will be a link there to take you straight to the audios. And there are 7 in total, and each of them are $11, or you can buy all of them for $47. So you save $30 when you buy them all. And if you're interested in the work, but you don't necessarily want to commit, or maybe you're not on Facebook. There's a bunch of people who listen to podcasts who really aren't on Facebook. So maybe the challenge hasn't been something up until now you've been interested in or thought you could commit to, but you're interested in doing some of the same work. Well, now you can. So come on over to jjflazanes.com, go to the blog. Again, it's under prayer versus meditation, and that link will take you to purchase one or all of the creative visualization and manifestation audios. So today's show was, again, like I said, a quick one that I did a while ago, and it's part of the Freedom Friday from Fit to Love. So I hope you enjoy it. No matter who you are and what you're doing, hopefully you will get benefit. All right, enjoy the show. Today's show, prayer versus meditation. Today's show is going to be a little short. Just wanted to quickly come and say happy Friday, everybody. Happy Freedom Friday. I wanted to talk about this subject because it's near and dear to me, and it's something I need to remember every so often as well. And I've recently started doing what I consider a prayer. Up until now, ever since I left the church, so to speak, and have expanded my church to be universe and creator and law of attraction and non-physical energy, and to really open up that perspective and what that means to me and not be so traditional or specific about how it gets delivered. Prayer used to be, as I was growing up, and I know for a lot of people, prayer is asking for something sometimes, maybe asking for peace in the world, for asking for forgiveness, asking for a sign, asking for guidance. It's a lot of times asking. I also recently, because I've been doing a new prayer, so to speak, I can feel very strongly the reason why a lot of people are very religious and very strict about their prayer practice. Because in a prayer, there is an acknowledgement of a force greater than you. And no matter what you call that, God, creator, source, Allah, Buddha, Jesus, no matter what you think it is, call it, believe it to be, the minute that there's a dialogue started, whether it be out loud or in your mind, to a entity outside of yourself that's not you, although in my view it is still you, you're created in likeness and image and are an extension of, there's no separation, which is why it's different for me being in the work that I'm doing, in the spiritual journey that I'm on, that's different from what I think traditional religion is, which is a lot of people believe that there is a God and that I am made in the likeness and image of God, but I am not God. God is separate from me. And that belief does not work for me at all. It never has. It feels very victimized to me to be in a position where something greater than me has control over me. And while I could believe that God is a loving God and would never do anything to hurt me, it almost feels like I don't have the strongest connection. Like, again, I'm a child of God versus I am God. Versus in law of attraction, it gets explained in universal energy. Like, we are all mostly non-physical energy. We are all energy. And we, God, let's say God or source, creator, is all that is. It's all energy. But then we take all that energy and we focus it into physical forms, which is what we are. So it's like God is the sun and we're the sunbeams. We're still part of the sun, but we're an extension of the sun. The greater part of us is still the sun, is still non-physical energy. We're still attached to that. We still are that. But we are focused into a sunbeam, a smaller, more concentrated, very focused extension of that. So in this recent prayer that I've been doing, I have noticed how loved and how supported and what the attention feels like on me. It's been great. And as I was listening to it before I transcribed it and as I recite it every day, it puts me into compassion and to acknowledgement of all the people who are very, very religious and feel that strong, loving connection to the God of their choice when they pray, and really, really understanding that feeling you get in that prayer situation. Now, again, like I said earlier, some people believe that God is separate from them and they're not connected. They might be made in the likeness and image, but they are not actually God. So in that case, prayer can become a asking or a begging or a merciful, like, forgive me, I've done something wrong, please fix this for me, show me the way. And while I still believe some of that is applicable to what I'm doing and what I believe, that can feel very I still think it feels very victimized. If I believe that God is separate from me, then things can be done to me that I don't have control over. And that doesn't feel good. And I don't believe that that's actually true. So prayer, whether it be you feel connected and a part of your creator or you're separate from your creator, a lot of times is about a asking for something. And it's normally done. It might be a gratitude or appreciation, but it's normally done in I really want to know this, or I really want to have this, or I really want something to change. So let's just consider prayer kind of a question. Not all the time, but let's consider it a question. And whether it be a prayer or you just beating around trying to figure out and problem solve something that's going on with you, that prayer or question lives at a certain frequency. And in that frequency, you're not going to find the answer. That is the problem frequency. That is what's being activated, is the lack of something or the opportunity and the contrast to create something, but it isn't yet the answer. And meditation, and again, it doesn't have to be meditation. It could be a walking meditation. It could be an exercising meditation, a dancing meditation. It could be a eating meditation. It doesn't have to be you sitting on the ground, crossed legs, spine straight, eyes closed, silent, and mind clear of all thoughts. That is not what it has to be. I never get downloads like that. I always get them when I'm dancing, rollerblading, running, doing something else. When I'm focused on something else, my mind is free to receive. And I'm at a different vibrational frequency. The frequency of the problem, the frequency of the issue, the frequency of the condition, just like politics. I'm putting this on a Freedom Friday, so those of you that are political, you may not listen. And those of you that aren't political or don't want to be involved in the politics part, like people who do the politics, that's really focused on the problem. Let's talk about the problem. Let's get upset about the problem. The problem. It's not actually a solution. No solution gets done when we continue to focus on the problem. It's necessary to understand what the problem is, but then once we understand that, we need to be in a different place to receive and understand and come up with and be inspired about the answer to the problem. So if you're currently in a situation where, whether it be with a relationship or your job or your life or your health, and you have something that's been bugging you and you're not sure what to do about it, and maybe you pray, maybe you don't, maybe you're using law of attraction, or you're trying to, and you're trying to direct your thoughts into a more positive place, find a way to get into a state that feels different. And that's why in law of attraction, there's a lot of talk about sort of ignoring things or redirecting your focus. Just take a break. You don't have to leave it forever. So if it's politics, or if it's, again, an issue which needs to be solved and you feel like you can't walk away from it forever or ignore it, just take a break from it. Do something different. It's called a state change. Create a state change. Drop it, put it down for a second, walk away. Do something different. Do something fun. Dance, cook, get a massage, go to the spa, play a game, exercise, watch a funny television show or movie, tell some jokes, call a friend. Do something different. Walk away from it for a different perspective so that you can detach that energy, allow your frequency and vibration to rise, and then receive the answer in that higher place, because that's where the answer lives, not in the place where the problem lives. So if you're feeling any negative emotion and you continue to spiral through, why am I not figuring this out? Why am I not figuring this out? Why am I feeling this way? Know that you're not going to get the answer there. You can't. You feel terrible. You're not going to get the answer when you feel terrible. You're going to get the answer when you feel better. So find a way to feel better. And it doesn't have to be meditation, but it can be. It could be hypnosis. Again, I said it could be dancing. It could be doing something fun. It's about a state change that gives you a new perspective, that gives you a different perspective. And then you can allow the answer to come to you. So if you're someone who prays, if you're someone who believes in non-physical communication and energy and inspiration, know that that higher level answer can only be received when you're listening, when you're open. Meditation is the quieting of the mind, or at least the detaching and becoming the observer of the mind, so that you can see what flows in and out and what crosses your brain and your path and your consciousness. So if prayer is talking to, asking for, wanting this and that, use meditation, use a state change, use a quietness of some kind to allow yourself to receive the answer. I think this is one of the biggest issues with our society when it comes to problem solving. People think they have to beat the problem into the ground or focus on it, and then they feel bad, and they feel bad, and they feel bad, and they feel bad over and over and over again, and they wonder why it doesn't get better. And it gets better temporarily, but it doesn't actually ever get better permanently. And that's because we keep searching for answers in that red hot moment when we're in that angry, frustrated state of being. I would recommend, for those of you that are feeling stuck, feeling like you're looking for an answer that you just can't figure out, you haven't been able to wrap your head around it, no one's been able to give you the right answer, to let it go, write it down, walk away from it, redirect yourself into a totally other place, and allow the answer to come to you, because I promise it will. Thank you again for tuning in to Spirit, Purpose, and Energy. If you're inspired and want more, come on over to fit2love.tv and check out our Freedom Fridays, or find us on iTunes. More at Fit to Love, physical, emotional, and spiritual fitness for the happy life you deserve.